Pergamon bustled under the midday sun, its streets alive with the clamor of merchants, scholars, and pilgrims. The city's grandeur lay not just in its architecture but in its soul. Its library stood as a beacon of knowledge, rivaled only by Alexandria, and the healing sanctuary of Asclepius drew seekers from far and wide. In a spacious villa overlooking the city, Galen took his first breath in 129 AD. His father, Aelius Nikon, cradled him with pride. Aelius, a wealthy architect and scholar, saw potential in his newborn son's eyes. "Pergamon's future will be brighter with you in it," Aelius whispered to Galen. As Galen grew, Pergamon's significance as a hub of learning and healing became his playground. The city's library called to him with its endless scrolls of wisdom. The sanctuary of Asclepius, with its tranquil gardens and skilled healers, fascinated him. At home, Aelius nurtured Galen's budding curiosity. Maps covered their study walls, compasses and rulers cluttered the desk. "Geometry is the language of the gods," Aelius would say as he drew perfect circles on parchment. "Understand it, and you understand the universe." Galen watched intently, absorbing every word. His father's passion for mathematics and geometry ignited something within him, a thirst for knowledge that knew no bounds. Galen tossed and turned in his sleep. The room, filled with scrolls and the scent of parchment, seemed to whisper secrets of ages past. His dreams took on a surreal quality. The sanctuary of Asclepius appeared, bathed in an ethereal glow. There stood Asclepius himself, a figure of divine majesty. "Seek the path of healing," the god's voice resonated, as if echoing through the chambers of Galen's mind. "Your hands will bring solace to many." Galen awoke with a start, heart pounding, his destiny now crystal clear. Without delay, he embarked on his medical training in Pergamon. The city's vibrant energy fueled his thirst for knowledge. Days blurred into nights as he immersed himself in anatomy and pharmacology under the tutelage of esteemed physicians. Eager for more, Galen journeyed to Smyrna and then Alexandria, epicenters of medical wisdom. The grandeur of Alexandria's library astounded him, housing scrolls from across the known world. Each day in these hallowed halls sharpened his intellect and skills. In 157 AD, Galen returned to Pergamon, the city that had nurtured his early ambitions. His years of study in Smyrna and Alexandria had transformed him into a physician of remarkable knowledge and skill. The familiar streets of Pergamon, once a backdrop to his childhood dreams, now welcomed him as a man with a purpose. His reputation preceded him. It wasn't long before he was appointed as the physician to the gladiators, a role both demanding and prestigious. The arena was a place of brutal combat where the wounded sought not just healing but survival. "Your first patient awaits," the head trainer informed Galen, leading him to a dimly lit room where a gladiator lay groaning on a wooden table. Blood pooled around him from a deep gash on his thigh. Galen approached with steady hands and sharp eyes. "Bring me clean linens and hot water," he instructed, his voice calm but authoritative. The injury was severe, but Galen's training in Alexandria had prepared him for such challenges. He carefully cleaned the wound, noting the severed muscles and exposed bone. His hands moved with precision as he sutured the flesh, his mind recalling every lesson on anatomy and surgical techniques. Days turned into weeks, and Galen's methods began to show remarkable results. Gladiators who once faced grim prospects of death from infections or improperly treated wounds now had a fighting chance. His techniques in wound care, use of medicinal herbs, and innovative surgical practices drastically reduced the death rate among the fighters. Word of his success spread quickly through Pergamon. "Have you heard about the new physician?" whispered merchants in the marketplace. "He's saving lives in the arena." Galen's fame grew not just among the citizens but also among scholars and other physicians who marveled at his skill and knowledge. Yet, he remained humble, always seeking to learn more and refine his techniques. By 162 AD, Galen's ambitions outgrew Pergamon. The whispers of Rome's grandeur called to him, a city where opportunities were boundless but competition fierce. "It is time," Galen decided one evening as he gazed over Pergamon's rooftops. "Rome awaits." With that, he set his sights on the heart of the empire, ready to face new challenges and make his mark in one of history's greatest cities. In Rome, Galen's public dissections and lectures drew throngs of eager students and curious onlookers. His skilled hands revealed the hidden intricacies of animal bodies, captivating audiences with each precise cut and detailed explanation. "Observe the structure of this heart," he would command, lifting the organ with reverence. "It is not merely a pump, but the seat of vital spirit." Through these educational demonstrations, Galen entertained while educating. He transformed medical instruction into a spectacle, making complex ideas accessible to many. His eloquence and confidence imbued his teachings with authority, setting new standards for public engagement in science. Galen's influence on medicine became profound and far-reaching. His theories about the four humors, blood, phlegm, yellow bile, and black bile, dominated medical thought for centuries. Physicians across the Roman Empire and beyond adhered to his practices, using his texts as foundational guides. This body of knowledge came to be known as Galenism. For over a millennium, it remained the cornerstone of medical education. Universities in medieval Europe included his works in their curricula, ensuring that generations of doctors were trained in his methodologies. In the bustling heart of Rome, a crowd gathered in the amphitheater, buzzing with anticipation. The space, typically reserved for gladiatorial combat, had been transformed into a makeshift lecture hall. Galen stood at the center, his eyes scanning the eager faces that filled the seats. His reputation as a physician was unparalleled, but today, he wore the mantle of an educator. Today, he began, his voice clear and commanding, we will explore the intricacies of the human body through dissection. He gestured to the table beside him where an animal lay prepared for examination. The audience leaned in, captivated by the promise of insight and spectacle. Galen's hands moved deftly, revealing layers of muscle and sinew with practiced ease. He spoke with authority, each word imbued with his vast knowledge and passion for medicine. The liver, he pointed out as he exposed the organ, is not merely for digestion. It is the body's furnace, generating blood and sustaining life. The crowd murmured in awe. For many, this was their first glimpse into the hidden workings of life. Galen's ability to blend education with entertainment turned these sessions into major events in Rome. They were more than just lectures, they were theatrical experiences that drew citizens from all walks of life. Observe, he continued, lifting a lung from its cavity. Notice how it expands and contracts, vital for drawing in air and expelling impurities. His hands moved with precision, every incision revealing another secret of anatomy. He explained complex physiological processes with clarity, making them accessible to both scholars and laymen alike. His demonstrations were meticulously planned to maximize both educational value and dramatic impact. Galen's public dissections became a powerful tool for disseminating medical knowledge far beyond his private study. These sessions allowed him to share his insights on anatomy and physiology with a broad audience, effectively spreading his influence across Rome and beyond. Among those in attendance were students and aspiring physicians who hung on his every word. They scribbled notes furiously, knowing that Galen's teachings would shape their own practices for years to come. As he concluded his demonstration with a flourish, Galen addressed the crowd one last time. Remember, he said, locking eyes with his audience, the pursuit of knowledge is endless. Continue to question, to learn, to understand. With those words echoing through the amphitheater, Galen's legacy as a public educator was cemented. His teachings resonated not only with contemporaries but also paved the way for future generations of medical practitioners who would build upon his foundations. Galen's work extended far beyond the confines of the amphitheater. His meticulous integration of empirical observation with theoretical knowledge set new standards for medical practice. He spent countless hours documenting his findings, ensuring that each observation was backed by rigorous evidence. This methodical approach revolutionized how medicine was practiced, bridging the gap between abstract theory and practical application. In his study, surrounded by scrolls and parchments, Galen's quill danced across the pages. He described the function of organs, the flow of blood, and the balance of humors with unparalleled precision. His treatises, such as On the Usefulness of the Parts of the Body, provided detailed descriptions that were both comprehensive and accessible. These works became essential reading for any serious student of medicine. The body of knowledge established by Galen, known as Galenism, dominated medical thought for over a millennium. Physicians from all corners of the Roman Empire and beyond referenced his texts, which offered a systematic approach to diagnosis and treatment. His emphasis on observation and experimentation influenced countless medical practitioners, solidifying his teachings as the bedrock of medical science. Galen's influence was not confined to the Western world. In Islamic cultures, his works were translated into Arabic and studied extensively. Scholars like Avicenna and Rhazes built upon Galen's foundations, integrating his theories into their own medical practices. In this way, Galenism became a cornerstone of medical education across diverse cultures. Medical schools from Baghdad to Salerno taught from Galen's texts, shaping generations of physicians. His detailed anatomical drawings and descriptions informed surgical techniques and treatments for centuries. Students memorized his teachings on the four humours and their balance, principles that underpinned all medical practice at the time. Even as new discoveries emerged during the Renaissance, Galen's influence persisted. The works of Andreas Vesalius, who corrected some of Galen's anatomical errors through direct human dissection, marked a turning point in medical science. Yet, Vesalius himself acknowledged Galen's monumental contributions. While new advancements began to challenge some aspects of Galenism, his holistic approach to medicine continued to inspire and guide practitioners. Thus, Galen's legacy endured through ages, a testament to his genius in merging observation with theory and setting a foundation upon which modern medicine was built.